Yo, 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 yo. What's happening, everybody? Welcome in. I hope you're all having a great day. What's happening? We got B-Rad, John, Nate Dogg, Aaron Hernsby, Mac, Lindsay, Adam, amongst others. Already hanging out here in the chat. Hit the share button, hit the like button. 13 what? 13.2? What the fuck, boys? Let's go. We actually do got, I think, a lot of female listeners, probably because I'm so attractive. I imagine.
Definitely you.
And here for the takes. You know, I think that for too long, women were gape kept out of liking sports. And now, like, I love seeing a lot of younger, because so, like, I work in radio, right? So constantly the producers and everything else on our shows are like young revolving producers, you know? And so it's kind of like Matt McConaughey in this radio game. I keep getting older and they stay the same age. But more and more, I'm seeing these young women who just like love video games and like love nerdy shit and like love all the things that I love. So we do not want to gatekeep here on Snaps. Welcome in, brand new episode. What is it? January 10th, 2024. T-Bob Hebert. He is Aaron Murray. You could call him Joe Nance. He's got his master polo on, quarter zip rocking. My guy is ready for some golf now that football's over.
Yeah, too bad it's going to be about 19 degrees next week in Atlanta. So my golf will be hitting balls into the net in the garage for the next couple of weeks. But I will be.
I mean, what a pussy.
Come March, April. No, I draw the line.
You can't handle a little cold. Like, how bad do you want it? I thought you liked golf.
I draw the line at above freezing. So as long as it's in the mid 30s, I'll play golf.
I mean, whatever, dude. I grew up, or I was raised in college, at least, with the saying, how bad do you want it? And what are you willing to sacrifice to get it? And if you can't accept some rock hard nips, some numb hands, and some chapped lips to get them swings off, then I don't really think you about that life, QB1. Why don't you go back to Tampa, where the fuck boys play, and ride in them things like every day? What's up, y'all? Welcome in. OT. It's going to be a bit of a chaotic show today. As you see, it's kind of like, to me, this is kind of that time of year. We've had a ton of fun. You know, it almost feels like, you know, the act has happened and now we're both relaxing in bed. And this is kind of, let's enjoy a cigarette sort of show. And just, you know, we're going to talk. It's not going to be super rigid.
Have you ever done that, Charlie? Have you truly ever done that?
Cigarette after sex?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's one of life's greatest joys. I mean, if I have a hotel room with a balcony or any sort of outdoor space, it is a near guarantee that I will have sex on the balcony and immediately light up a cigarette afterwards. And again, guys, I do not smoke regularly. I do not smoke every day. I don't think anybody should. I think you have to protect your health. But, you know, I'm also someone that believes, you know, all things in moderation are acceptable. Yeah, see, PG in our producer chat, nothing wrong with a cheeky saying, I'll say it. Yeah, I'll say it too. Exactly. Again, you have to control yourself. You can't do it chronically. Otherwise, you got to accept the health effects that come with it. But yeah, bro, I'm
more like a stacks and like a crumble cookie afterwards, like last night.
Yeah,
like that's more where the food
is
crumble
great
cookie,
as well.
Not really the cig guy.
Yeah. Food is great as well. Well, yeah, I mean, look, I just think I think I've just got more of a degenerate demon inside of me than you do in a lot of ways.
No way. Our listeners would have never guessed that. I mean, I am the one who fell in love with a stripper, but I mean,
I know exactly. But that's what also people don't get. That's what people don't get. Like on the partying side, I am the degenerate deviant one. But Aaron's sexual deviance, I mean, I've only ever had sex with my wife. We've been together since we were 16 years old. Aaron's sexual deviance doesn't just lap me. He could go to the moon and back before we would even get to anywhere. Like I like making jokes. I like watch things, talking about things. I like thinking about things. But no, Aaron has far surpassed like anything I've ever done in that regard. So that's what we make. Look, that's like Ned writes his great show, guys. Fun show, great football inside info. T-Bob and Aaron have great chemistry. It's very kind, Ned. Thank you. But that's why, right? We compliment each other well. a little bit of partying. If we could only combine, we'd be the most degenerate, deviant individual out there.
True F-boys. True
Yes.
F-boys.
Yes.
Nice.
My new girlfriend asked if I smoked after sex, and I said, I don't know. I've never looked. I'm sorry, Ned. I'm trying to find the punchline there. I can't. I can't. I think something was mistyped. I think there was just I'm missing something.
Something was lost in communication.
Yeah. Okay, so on today's show, what we are going to do, we are going to do a way too early Snaps Top 12. The exact segment that we panned as being awful radio in classic Snaps fashion. We are now going to lean into it, and we are going to do
we didn't say it was awful. We just didn't have time because it was at the end of our show yesterday. We didn't have time to fit it in. Not it was bad radio.
I was also say that whatever. I think it's going to be a fun conversation ahead. A way too early top 12 in honor of the 12-team playoff next year. They'll maybe talk like a dark horse within there. I've got something that I didn't put in the document that I want to bring up and make you have to deal with. And then for you Georgia fans, Michigan and Georgia finished 1-2 in the final S&P Plus. Aaron, do you think the Bulldogs are going to beat Michigan in a neutral field playoff game? Great. Can't wait to have that conversation. All right. Let's start. I thought I had some other bit of housekeeping to get out of the way here, but I'm sure it will return to me. Let's start with our way too early snaps. Top 12. And thank you for all the kind words in the chat, y'all. Very kind. I think we all agree here. UGA is number one. Right? Wow. I mean, that's not crazy. You return Carson Beck. It's still Kirby Smart. I will still give Kirby Smart the benefit of the doubt over anyone right now, even over Nick Saban right now, because I think George is a more strongly constructed roster. Even though Alabama did win, so some of you Bama fans may get upset by that. The Jalen Milroe part of Alabama is a little weird right now, trying to parse through that because we spent everybody started the season hating Jalen Milroe. And I'm just kind of talking in general thoughts here, right? Throughout the year, it's like, oh, wait, he's kind of getting better. Oh, wait, he's good. Oh, wait, he's great. He's almost a Heisman. Oh, no, he fucking sucks. It went from building all the way up to borderline Heisman. Then it took one game for Alabama fans to be completely back out on him and give him the full Jalen Hurts treatment. So I'm going to be fascinated to see what Jalen Milroe's offseason is like and what that quarterback conversation is like. So all of that is to say, UGA clearly number one here.
I think Georgia clearly number one, and they went and got some pretty big splashes in the transfer portal too. Like they got ETN, so you got a dynamic back that can do a little bit of everything. We saw what the young tight ends can do for Georgia in the bowl game, and honestly throughout the season with Brock Bowers being banged up so much. Yet London Humphreys as well through the transfer portal. You have the number one recruiting class in the country. I'm sure some of those guys will hit and be able to play next year. So they already had the young talent. They went to the portal. They did what they needed to do. They bring back Carson, who's now a potential top 5, top 10 pick in the NFL draft. Yes, Georgia should be everyone's number one heading into next season. One loss in 3 years, 3 points in an SEC championship game versus Alabama.
Rob D says any other team over the previous national champion is wrong. Look, I think that's more of like that just kind of depends on what kind of system you're doing. If you want to rank teams that way, well, then there's no point in having this conversation because you just take the final top 25 and you say, okay, this is what we're going to roll with until we get to next season. So no, I disagree with that. Rob says everyone had Penix envy until Michigan proved they could pound it better than anybody. That's fair. And we said it. We said it yesterday's show. Like, I think in retrospect, and a lot of this, like Colin Wilson said a lot of this before the fact, it's just that these conversations have been had at other times and the Penix magic had overcome it. But in retrospect, Michigan, out of all the contenders, was an especially bad matchup for Washington because they are the most complete team. And every other team had a weakness in which Washington could have overcame them. Michigan just too complete in the end. Real quick before we move on from Georgia, Aaron, surprise topic. Is Kirby Smart going to leave for the NFL? I mean, I saw a message board post
Are you hearing the Falcons rumors? Are you hearing
I
the
saw a
Falcons rumors?
message board post, okay, on like Dog Sports Forum or something. And it was somebody who said they're very well connected. So I'm going to take him at face value there. And yeah, saying that the Falcons, maybe like the Titans, talking to Curbs to the tune of 20 to 25 mil. So let's take a step back. Obviously, I'm being a bit cheeky. Obviously, I'm being a bit cheeky saying like trust the message board. What I want to explore more is why wouldn't? Like, why do we think Kirby Smart, just the NFL has no allure to him? Because he feels like he's a college coach for life. Absolutely.
He does.
And maybe
he's in his dream job. This is where he went to school.
Oh, hold on now.
It's all beautiful. Okay. I'll pause.
And I get it. I mean, he looks like a college frat kid. So like I could see he fits, right? But then I think, and I'm like, okay, I listened to him motivate his players pregame, halftime, and that's just good leadership. Like that plays well on any level. That's not like a college coach. I look at the scheme that he runs. I look at how he runs an organization. Really, the only thing that would be different is it's sometimes hard to tell at how good a organization is at scouting when it comes to NFL versus college, because in college you have a lot of people putting information in the hive mind, and so you can choose the highest ranked players. And if you're just the baddest at recruiting and you land enough of them, it's going to work out. Where NFL, you have to get the evaluation right more often than not. So I don't know about that, but everything else says that Kirby actually would play well in the NFL. To me,
they'd be great. I think the only difference is Kirby is a true old school coach in the sense of and why he's been so successful. He learned from Nick Saban of controlling every aspect and wanting to control every aspect of a player's life, essentially. Like, from the way they eat to train to working out to dealing with every little thing. Like he wants to run everything, and he should. I mean, he's a CEO. We always talk about with college football, who is the face of the program? It's not the quarterback. It's not the receiver. It's the head coach. You are the big boss. You're the big man on campus. There are money being generated through the university because of Nick Saban and because of Kirby Smart. So you have a lot of power. You're not saying like NFL coaches don't have power. They have a ton of power. But you ain't the face, and you ain't telling some dude that's making $40, $50 million that he can't go do something.
No, but
you have a lot more control. And I do think that there's a sense of, when you are a college coach of yes, the negatives are your life could be at times living hell because of all the responsibilities, all the stress, dealing with 18 and 22-year-olds, dealing with the academics, dealing with the transfer portal, dealing with the recruit, a million things. But at least you're in control of all of it.
So
your finger is on every single aspect of it.
I agree with you. But doubling your salary.
Oh, it's the money's
and having to not deal and having to not deal and to be clear, like coaching contracts are not public generally, right? So there are, like, I know Belichick's been making over 20 mil for a while now, or rumors are. It's not 1,000% confirmed, but it's pretty much understood. So like there are some really big deals in the league that we don't really know about. Like Carroll's been making crazy money forever. And so that number doesn't feel like it could be real. I'm not saying any of this is real. It could be real. And then this is kind of an interesting point in the chat from Cell of Awareness. If you like developing a player, it's now easier in the NFL. You get a rookie for 4 years under contract. In college, a player can hit the portal if you don't give him what he wants as a freshman. That's actually true. It's actually kind of crazy to consider that it is now arguably easier to develop young talent.
I mean, what's the point of really developing young talent in college football when the next year, if the kid doesn't pan out, you can just hit the portal and get someone else yourself because you don't know how committed that kid is truly to you. And that's one of the things that does need to improve from a college standpoint. If we do get to these kids being employees, and I'm sure this will be part of it, like there has to be some sort of contract where you just can't pick up and leave whenever the hell you want.
Yeah, that all gets collectively.
100%.
I mean, I'm not a lawyer.
It's a nightmare.
I would think it all gets. I kind of love it personally. I fucking love it.
What motivation does a coach have to truly develop young talent if he always knows in the back of his head that there's going to be a handful of kids at that position next year, or that kid may end up leaving?
Well, because coaches still want their own piece of clay that they molded into this final piece of pot, like this beautiful piece of art.
I think the elites do. But I think past like the top 10, 15 programs in college football, they're looking just to win football games and survive.
Yeah.
They're just looking to get the best players every single year. And if that means Lane Kiffin style or Dion style, we're going to do it.
Yeah. I mean, again, yeah. We'll know more about this when we get a few more years of data.
I will say this: the millions. I would say if it was equal money, he wouldn't go. But if you're telling me that there's a $5 to $10 million increase in his payment, you have to take that.
Red and Black Dog says, bro, after that many millions, what's another 10 million? I understand that from like our like normal person perspective. Like I feel you. Like I feel like if you gave me $10 million right now, I could almost like I could. I mean, I could probably quit my job or just do whatever I wanted for fun and like yes, like easily like live off of that, right? So I feel that, but I mean, look at Nick Saban. Has all the money in the world and still making more money. And so like just a basic human thing is that people always just want more money. Now, I think John raises the greatest point that I believe that Kirby Smart will not go to the NFL. And that is because John says, doesn't Kirby want to be a legend among legends though? I think he'll only do that at UJ because he got this job so much earlier than Nick Saban got a big time head coaching job. And because he hasn't taken a sojourn to the NFL, like Kirby Smart legitimately, as insane as this sounds, has the inside track to being the greatest college football coach of all time.
Yep.
Like he has the years, if he has the energy to keep it up, he has the years to beat Nick Saban, to amass more titles. And I think there is something to be said for one of you. What do you mean? I don't even care if it's
I get the years. I get the years. It's going to be a lot harder to win a national championship than it was for the past 2 decades.
Yeah.
Significantly harder. We talked about the other day, like, what are the chances of us seeing like 15? Like, it is going to be. I mean,
yeah, but you're also, but hold on now. But Kirby's also going to get more opportunity.
He's going to get more
like
opportunity.
This year, one loss kept you out. Next year, that Georgia team's in there, and then all you.
I'm just saying, we have Georgia as the #1 team in the country right now. We will probably put 3 teams on this list, these top 12 lists, that Georgia has to go on the road to face. They have to go to Tuscaloosa, to Austin, to Oxford. That's 3 other top 10 teams in the country.
But they'll be in the playoff no matter what.
And then you have to find a way to, if you survive those, win an SEC championship game possibly, or you get in without it, and then go through a 12-team playoff. I'm just saying, like, that is a hell of a season.
I know.
To think you're going to do that for 5 more times. 5 more times.
But in 35 more years? Like that's like if he's going to coach.
He's 85. What is he, 50? He's around 50.
I thought he was in his 40s.
He's late 40s.
He was like 49. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. What's Saban in?
He's in his 40s. He's 49.
Yeah, there you go.
35 more years. He's 85 years old.
He's 48. He just turned
48. Another 20 years.
Third.
The coaches till he's 70. Another 22 years. He has to make 5 more in this era of football in the next 22 years.
Hey, all I'm saying is, 12-team playoff, you could argue is harder, but you could also argue it's easier. More margin for error. Get him in the playoffs. He'll have more opportunity to actually win the tournament, which is something that hasn't happened. So, and look, maybe he won't push till I don't know, whatever. It's all crazy. I'm just saying I could see that being a reason why he maybe stays, but who knows? Maybe he wants to test his mettle in the NFL. I will say this.
It's money. I will not blame a man for doubling up his money and going to the NFL.
I've made this.
Especially if it's in Atlanta. Dude, he would be an absolute – he already is a legend in the state for winning back-to-back national championships. Imagine if he goes to the Falcons and turns the Falcons into a successful NFL franchise.
I would.
I mean, that is a whole nother level.
When I tell you I would salt burn those Georgia tears, oh my God. There are at least 2 scenes in Saltburn that would be representative of how much joy and how I would act if Kirby Smart left Georgia and went to the NFL. It'd be awesome. Anyway, all right. So Text Rock says, is this a Kirby Smart speculation show or a top 12 show? I'm sorry. I want to throw Aaron a curveball, try to make all the Georgia fans a little insecure. But Georgia #1, unfortunately, Alabama 2.
Yeah.
Going into the year.
Yeah.
It's Nick Saban. Even with this team of young guys and what was supposed to be a rebuilding year, they give Michigan a battle in the semifinal. Alabama 2.
Alabama 2. And you were kind of tongue in cheek with the whole Milroe thing to start the show. Like, I think Milroe, I think, man, he was in a three-way quarterback battle, which he looked like he was in third place coming out of spring, if not second place. Somehow find a way to win the battle. And I guess not somehow find a way, because looking at the other two guys played this season, you know why he won the battle. But still wasn't that guy in spring, wasn't really that guy for the majority of fall camp. Like, I think the progress you saw from him I will still continue to harp on this for Alabama, barely above average receiver play, like good receiver play. Alabama has not had excellent receiver play in about 3 or 4 years. If some of those guys that played this year can take a step along with Jalen in the offseason with a full spring and summer and fall camp, I think you will see a better Jalen Milroe next season. So, yeah, with all that talent, with the number one recruiting class of all time from a year ago, another year in the program, they'll have more blue chip guys than anyone else in the country, most likely again next year, with an experienced quarterback.
Royal Pain says, I'm a Bama fan, but Milroe has to improve intermediate passing, and I don't think Saban and Reese will be satisfied with the offense as it is. Saban/Simpson will push him. And the reason why I highlight this,
everyone has to improve things.
Well, I know.
Improve his deep passes. I mean,
the reason why, though, I highlight this is because this is representative of the majority of Alabama fans that I know. Like, they're expecting now. Royal Pain didn't go so far as to say he expects Milroe to be supplanted, but everybody is looking at Saban and Simpson as the actual future. Not a lot of Alabama fans believe that it's going to be Milroe, but
yeah.
We'll see. Damn the naysayers. Number 3 on this list, Michigan.
No.
Yep. Jim Harbaugh or no, Michigan. Returning JJ, returning a lot of the interior defensive line. Will Johnson back. Whether it's Harbaugh or not, you got to give him some bit of the doubt. They've lost 1 game in 2 years, beaten Ohio State 3 years in a row. If Harbaugh does leave, I believe Sharon Moore, Zach Minter's still there as well. I like Michigan.
Does Minter leave with him, though? I mean,
I don't know.
Minter's an NFL guy. Like, that's my one worry. You may lose
your
head coach, you lose your DC too.
I was talking to Matt Flynn today on our show, and he was like, off air, we were talking, and he was like, I am like actually shocked at how many different looks a college defense can give. And he was speaking in relation to Michigan.
Yeah. Unbelievable. I don't think if Harbaugh's gone, Minter's gone. So
but neither's gone right now. So how do we have this conversation?
No, I know. No.
I think they should be 3.
I'm fine with 3. Michigan 3. I think JJ back for another season with, I would presume, Moore back as head coach, OC, whatever. You're going to have him in the system another year. I saw progress this year. I think there's still more juice to be squeezed from him. And I always lean towards experienced quarterbacks with these early rankings. My number 4 is Oregon.
Yeah, mine too. How about that? Look at us, dude. Simpatico.
I mean, the absolutely perfect quarterback in Dylan Gabriel. You lose Bo Nix, and I think you get a guy that's almost identical.
Oh, you wanted to say better, but you pushed out.
I don't know about better, but I think identical. Okay. Good athlete, not the strongest arm in the world, but is literally perfect for what Oregon wants to run schematically. Dan Lanning's 3rd season at Oregon, we saw what he's been able to do for the first 2. I think they're just going to get better and better. I think they are, just like Texas is ready to jump into the SEC. I think Oregon is more than equipped to contend in the Big Ten next year.
Oh, I mean, they're immediately better than everybody in the Big Ten, save for
Michigan, Ohio State.
Yeah, Michigan, Ohio State, and Ohio State.
I guess we have them ahead. We have them ahead of Ohio State right now.
Well, so. No. I mean, I don't mean like. I mean like almost objectively better, right?
Yeah.
Like you at least have to debate Michigan, Ohio State, and whatnot. But like, I would objectively put them above Penn State, everybody else in that conference right now. James Franklin's just got to figure out how to get an offense going and how to allow an offense to make mistakes and live. Otherwise, he's never going to get out of his own way.
Yeah.
All right. So Michigan 3, Oregon 4. Then I think you're probably on the same page here. Who do you got at 5?
Texas.
Yep. Me too. Hook 'em. Fook 'em. It's everything we've been talking about, man. They broke through this year. Tons of positive momentum. They got players returning, right? Mm-hmm. Actual players returning.
Quarterback.
Culture. Quinn Ewers coming back. Who's their badass number 33? I can't.
Luther Burden.
Yeah.
Luther
Wait,
Burden.
what?
Luther Burden.
The receiver
Yes.
is going to Texas.
Oh, sorry. I was thinking Missouri in my head for some reason.
Holy fuck! I was like, wait, what? How did I miss this? Luther Burden? Oh shit! They're gonna be like number 3 or something. Okay.
In my head, as you were talking, I was thinking about like the SEC and Big Ten being mostly the majority of our top 12, and somehow Missouri got in my head. My bad.
But no, look, I think, yeah, I was shocked for a second. I was like, wow, I need to get on my research here. Yeah, no, now PG points out they got a 5-star freshman coming in, Ryan Wingo, but no, look, I think Sark proved a lot, and to me, they've always had the talent, but they proved to me some culture things last year, and they proved to me a toughness that I've never attributed to Texas, and a resiliency and winning games they would lose in the past. So yeah, I'll get Texas at 5.
They're losing a lot. Yeah. The one worry is, when's the last time Texas lost first round talent? I mean, that's been the big knock on Texas. Like, for the past 12 years, the brand of Texas has not put NFL guys, put
not
NFL
offensively.
guys in the draft.
Remember, Bijan Robinson was the first offensive first rounder since 2009.
Yeah. And you look at the draft this year and all the guys that will get drafted early from this Texas roster, it's pretty impressive. So, like, they haven't had to go through this before in quite some time with receivers are going to go early. Defensive tackles are going to go early. There's a lot of star power that needs to be replaced. I'm not saying like Sark hasn't. Obviously, Sark has done a great job recruiting. They've been a top 5 class for a few years now. There's talent there. Now it's how well has he developed that talent as they head into the SEC. So I think there are a few questions about what they look like. Running back, top 2 receivers, running back, not quarterback, but 2 defensive tackles. There's a lot that has to be replaced.
Maybe we're giving too much benefit of doubt. I mean, Kyungnam Yoon says, Texas ain't going nowhere. We're sorry, Steve. I miss the old team.
Tight end. Sanders is gone too.
All right, then fuck it. Let's drop him. Drop him then.
No.
You believe in Sark and Ewers?
I do believe in Sark and Ewers. Give him a
5. Number 6. I bet you we're the same here.
Ohio State?
No, I had Ole Miss. Ohio State didn't have a quarterback, too. We cannot grant you are on this council, but we do not grant you the rank of top 6, Ohio State, because you don't have a quarterback. Oh, I forgot. Will Howard.
No, I was going to say they got Juckins. All right, fine. We'll do Ole Miss 6, Ohio State 7. I really like Ole Miss.
That's what I got. I got Ole Miss 6, Ohio State 7.
Ole Miss may have been my number 5 if Juckins was back at running back. It's hard to poke holes in this roster, man. There's a lot of talent on both sides of it. And you got a third-year experienced quarterback who had a hell of a season. You got talent on the outside. You got defensive playmakers, second year in the system. And I've said this before, but like, Lane knows how to build a roster. Because I've talked to him about it. He knows how to build a roster through the portal, and he knows how to get those guys to buy in immediately. And I think the easiest way to get all those guys to buy in is the fact that you just went 11-2. So you sit everyone down when they get their butts back on campus this week and say, guys, we just won 11-2, and we got this guy and 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 this guy. Let's fucking go.
Yeah.
Let's go.
And Lane Kiffin, he's been tweeting. If you look at it, I'm trying to bring it up right now. If you look at his Twitter, you can see hashtags that give you, like, he's always had the come to the sip hashtag, right? He has these hashtags that become these almost touchstones, these things that he continues to hammer, and you can see the messages that he's selling to these transfers. I'm trying to think of the one that I saw the other day. Here it is. Hashtag Last Dance 2024. Hashtag Team Before Self, only players. Oh, wait. Team Before Self, players only allowed. Hashtag Small Egos, Big Mission. So, like, these are the messages that he's going to try to give to Princely Monmielen and all the other excellent, who's the receiver they brought in? Would you go with Trey Harris? Juice Wells. Like, these are the messages he's going to be trying to send these guys to get them to buy in immediately. Team Before Self, if players only allowed. I don't really get that one as much, like the latter half, but Small Egos, Big Mission is pretty good. You're getting people to buy in. All right, so Ole Miss 6, Ohio State 7, and Ohio State probably, in my opinion, Aaron, would have the most potential to rise on this list. because they still have the
talent.
Yeah, they have the top 3 talent base. Like
Yeah.
Ohio State, UGA, and Alabama remain outliers in terms of hoarding blue chippers. It's just that after the Kyle McCord step back, Ryan Day's air of quarterback invincibility has been pricked a bit. But like if Will Howard does end up flourishing under Day, well, Ohio State jumps all the way up to, I mean, we're talking like challenging Bama, I think, even for that second spot.
Yeah. So that's 5 and 6, correct?
No, that's 6 and 7.
6 and 7. 8.
This is where we start to get in the weeds here a bit, man.
Arizona?
Notre
Notre Dame?
I got Notre Dame at 9.
Okay.
I got Florida State at 8. But it probably is a bit crazy. I'm kind of betting on Mike Norvell. I'm not married to it. We can back off it if you want.
I want to back off that one.
They suffered a
They're kind of
grave
like the same thing as like Sark. Like you're losing some superstars.
Yeah, I know.
I know.
But Norvell knows how to replace him quick nowadays.
He does. No doubt about it. I just think Texas is kind of built. I'm more confident in Texas. I say that, but they're also joining the SEC compared to Florida State still being in the ACC. But I think it's more of a belief in yours compared to DJU is when you boil it down to that.
So I think Notre Dame at 8 then. I think Notre Dame at 8. Because we both had them right there. I mean, I believe what Marcus Freeman's building, Riley Leonard, I think is going to really flourish there. I almost think he's a better fit.
Yeah.
What they want to do. Yeah. There we go. Yeah.
Did it just randomly go off my my mic, I guess?
No, your mic didn't go off. I just realized. I think you were on your computer mic. It sounds like audio, but see how crisp that sounds, guys? Sounds good. Oh, yeah. See, now now you see how Aaron had so much success to ladies, except for that purr thing. I cannot fathom that works.
All right, Notre Dame at 8.
Have you ever done that purr in a serious context to a woman?
Yes.
Like not in a joking way, like in an unironic, sincere, I'm what? And they like it?
Well,
or do they just,
I think I could have done whatever I wanted to do.
Yeah,
they would have liked it back in the day.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah. It's not really the purr. The purr is just there because you wanted it there, and they're like, "All right, whatever. That was weird, but let's keep it moving.
Let's keep it going."
All right, Notre Dame 8. And this is why I think 12-team playoffs exciting, because for these Final Four spots, I could make a case for almost the rest of the top 25.
Do you want Missouri or you want Arizona?
I'm down for an Arizona 9.
Okay. Arizona,
even though I cannot for the life of me remember who's in the Big 12 next year.
Which is part of the reason why I feel really good about Arizona. Like that's why I have them there. I mean, same reason why I was kind of like, okay, Florida State does make a little bit of sense. You replace the quarterback, he's done a good job. But like you look at Arizona with Noah back at quarterback and year one, what they're able to do in the Pac-12, which was, as we all know, a pretty darn good conference this year. Now they go to the Big 12 this year, minus Texas, Oklahoma. Arizona's in a good spot to be a team that can contend for the playoffs.
Cameron Schultz says, what do y'all think about the other conferences getting auto bids for the playoffs? I still personally really like it, because unless you're going to officially, really reshape all this thing, if you just did a top 12, it really would feel like the Big 10 SEC Invitational. Yeah. And so I like having more flair in there and more teams from other conferences. And there's so many spots to go around that I don't care.
Yeah.
And I don't mind the group of 5 getting an auto bid. Greg says he hates it. I get why you could say you hate it. And there's not a lot of data to say that the group of 5 will consistently make things exciting, but they're going to knock somebody off, and that'll be fun when it happens. How crazy that we're now choosing Arizona at 9. Good for Jetfish. What a beat.
Missouri,
okay,
10.
are we hating on Penn State too much? Missouri 10?
Missouri 10. Penn State's my 11. So Missouri 10. Now it's back to my Luther burden as I talk about the Missouri Tigers.
I'm having a little bit of homerism here. I'm having a little bit of trouble picking Mizzou ahead of LSU. I think LSU's kind of got a relatively easy schedule, but it's a lot improving. No doubt. And they don't have any defensive tackles left.
No.
So it's fine. But just remember this homerism that I'm flashing right here.
Missouri 10, Penn State 11, LSU 12.
No, I can't. It's too many SEC teams. Well, it can't. I don't feel like the math could work out that way. You got to have somebody from the ACC in there.
Penn State at 11, Florida State at 12.
I don't hate that. I mean, do we think that Florida State or Clemson's going to win next year?
I lean towards Florida State. Has Dabo gotten anyone in the portal yet? Has he dipped his toes in there yet?
Yeah, I don't know. That's a good question. Somebody says I hope Tennessee makes a comeback. I was so on the Yamaliava hype train that like I almost wanted to put them on this list.
I'm right there with you on that one. I am. You said too many SEC teams. Like they're in my like 13 to 15 knocking on the door to get in next year.
Yeah, them LSU. Really, I think the grouping in the SEC are what you could consider the big three going into next year.
Mm-hmm.
UJ, Alabama, Texas. Although I don't know, you've given me some reason to question Texas. Then I think the next tier has Ole Miss in it, but Ole Miss would kind of be at the top. And then underneath them, you have Mizzou, LSU, Tennessee kind of fighting in that group to try to maybe sneak in somewhere around 12. BJ Cruz says, I just can't take Penn State seriously. It's like the Cowboys. I can only believe they can win when they actually do it. I mean, the thing about Penn State, though, that makes Penn State dangerous is they have everything figured out except for how to evolve offensively. Now, the problem is at a certain point, you have to accept that maybe James Franklin is just going to refuse to evolve. But we said that about Jim Harbaugh, and he figured out ways to tweak and kind of find his way there. And make no mistake, James Franklin remains a very good coach in every aspect except for managing to find a good offense.
New OC.
New DC as well.
New DC.
Right.
But DC, you didn't need a new DC. You need a new OC.
No, I know. Yeah, I know. But I'm saying, but that we have to take that into our evaluation of them. You're replacing Danny Diaz as well.
You have a returning quarterback who is very talented. And I know we all would like to get on freshmen nowadays or young quarterbacks because you're always like, oh, if he's not good enough, let's go in the portal, get someone else. There is the thought process of, hey, let the kid develop. I mean, myself personally, I was very average my freshman year and then kind of jumped up about, I think, 12 touchdowns my sophomore year. So like that could happen. You have both running backs returning. You went and got Fleming from Ohio State. We'll see if he, can look like the number one receiver in the country that he did coming out of high school. So there should be reason to feel optimistic if you're Penn State.
James Franklin said, Kyung Yoon says James Franklin needs a lot more than new OC. Again, I don't know if he does. I mean, the defense was awesome. Special teams was solid. Like, if they had a great offense, they'd have fucking rolling. And again, the problem is
they had receivers, they'd be rolling.
He needs more than a new OC because, like we talked about earlier, he has to change himself. He's tried 7 OCs now, or whatever the number is. Like, at a certain point, what's the common denominator? Me and Aaron both independently arrived at the take that just through watching Drew Aller, you could see that he's terrified of making a mistake, and that one interception number that they were bandying about is actually a negative. Yeah. Like he needs to be willing to engage in more risk. So, okay. So Penn State 11, FSU 12. Are we guilty of disrespecting Washington here?
No.
Will Rogers? I need to see Will Rogers, dude, because he came for your records, dude.
It's a drop at that position.
What?
It's a drop. That is a drop.
Man, Will, nobody's brand took a bigger hit this year than Will Rogers.
Yes.
You
lose Penix, Dunze, Polk. You lose your identity. You lose your identity. You lose why that team was built.
Now, I want to be clear about this, though. I don't think they have the full TCU implosion. And the reason being,
what did TCU end up this year?
I don't even fucking know, dude. Let's see. I got it right here. 5-7.
No, definitely not that. I can see maybe 84, 93.
If you looked at Sonny Dykes' resume, the good year was the exception of the rule. If you
Mhm.
look at Kalen DeBoer's, that's not the case.
Yeah.
Like Kalen DeBoer's resume is full of just full of winning. So I think they're still going to be really good. I know Elijah Johnson. See, this is what I fucking hate. He says, can't believe Washington pulled a TCU on us. They did not. To compare those two teams, I think is just unfair and not right. But they're losing a ton and they're moving into a competitive Big Ten. And I think they're still really good. I think they're in that 15 range with LSU and those other teams. I don't know if I can grant them the rank of top 12.
No. Mm-mm.
So let's do this. Let's talk. Let's hear from our friends at DraftKings. We'll run down the list one more time and give you our dark horse. DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL playoffs, is bringing you an offer that'll make the playoffs electrifying. New customers can bet just $5 on any game and get $200 instantly in bonus bets. So, you're an Eagles fan? You think your boys are going to turn it around at playoff time? You can bet on them, okay? Or, probably not because they probably won't. Either way, download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use code T-Bob. New customers bet just $5 to get $200 instantly in bonus bets only on DraftKings Sportsbook with code T-Bob, T-B-O-B. The crown is yours. First piece says Kalen DeBoer is now playing in the Big Ten, and then Royal Pains is
Their schedule is not that bad next year. I mean, I just pulled up Washington's schedule.
Really?
Weber State, Eastern Michigan, Washington State, Northwestern, Rutgers, their first 5 games. Then you get Michigan at home.
Okay.
At Iowa, at Indiana, USC, Southern Cal at home, at Penn State versus UCLA, at Oregon. Like, that ain't that bad. That ain't bad at all.
Dude, so my boy SEC Mike did something interesting that we should break down later on Snaps this week. I just thought about it, but he looked at the combined record he looked at the opposing schedules and looked at the combined record of opponent, right? As a way of saying, okay, who maybe has the toughest schedule next year?
Florida.
Billy Napier is Piper Perry.
Yeah, he's done.
That man is about to get gangbanged on that black couch.
Mm-hmm.
Florida's combined record of opponent 106-50. 106-50 next season. Alabama's actually second on this list. 97-58. Tied. That's tough. Vanderbilt's third. We told you Oklahoma got fucked. They're fourth. 96-58.
Where's Georgia?
90-63, middle of the pack. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, seventh hardest. And then Kentucky, South Carolina, A&M. LSU is 11, I believe, at 85-67. I told you the other day I thought it was like relatively friendly.
Yeah. Ole Miss,
83-68. So that's how many teams we got in the SC next year? 16. That's 14th in the league. So pretty easy. Tennessee 15th. And then how about it? The only team that has an opponent's records, combined record that is under 500, because even Tennessee, second to last, is at 79-73. Mizzou's combined opponents next year, 65-84. So to our point on Mizzou maybe finding their way, they by far, in theory, have the easiest schedule in the SEC.
Missouri's schedule next year: Murray State, Buffalo, Boston College, Vanderbilt to get things going. Then Texas A&M at UMass, which is random as hell. Auburn, Alabama, Oklahoma, South Carolina, Mississippi State, Arkansas. That is as easy as you can get.
Yeah, and that, like, quite literally, mathematically, in this SEC, that is the easiest thing that you could possibly get. Royal Pain, is Mizzou losing their DC a big deal or not? It's not a big deal because I think you have a rising star there, but I don't think it's a deal breaker for Mizzou. I don't know, though. It's tough to say. And I don't know if I can separate my own biases as LSU just made him the highest paid coordinator in the country. All right. Oh, do you have a dark horse?
Tennessee.
Okay.
I'm sipping the Nico juice. And now that you threw on the some fuel on that flame with their schedule and who they play next year, Yeah, Nico. Let's go, Nico. $2 million, $8 million quarterback. Show what you got next year.
Neil Brown and West Virginia. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, I like Tennessee. That's funny because we both were like kind of tempted to put him in the top 12. So I think that's naturally our dark horse. Okay, and that'll be it for today's show. A massive thank you. Sorry we didn't do the Michigan-Georgia conversation. I mean, we could do it another day if y'all really want. John. Good point by John. Cam Rising back at Utah. Veteran quarterbacks win in this day and age. Are we sure we don't want to put Utah anywhere here?
Why don't you take Utah?
Wait, what are we talking about? Utah's going to win the Big 12. It's not going to be Arizona.
True.
Like, what the fuck are we talking about?
Yeah.
I'm putting Utah at 9. Executive decision.
Okay.
And let's put Arizona. Do you want to get rid of FSU at 12?
Yes.
I mean, you kind of need an ACC team in there, but
no.
I mean, you will have an ACC team in the playoff, but Arizona 12. Okay. Utah 9, Arizona 12. Great call, John. That's what we're talking about. That's chat. That's chat coming together. All right. So here is your final snaps, top 12 of 2025. UGA 1, Alabama 2, Michigan 3, Oregon 4, Texas 5, Ole Miss 6, Ohio State 7, Notre Dame 8, Utah 9, Mizzou 10, Penn State 11, and Arizona 12.
Like
good list.
Let's go.
It's a good list, boys. Huge thank you to everybody. Fucking 13.2K subscribers. Let's go to, if you're watching live and you hit the like button, the more you that do, the more that it, the algorithm pushes us out there to thank you. We got a ton of exciting plans for you coming up this off season. And so we're really excited to get into it. It's gonna be fun every day here in Snaps. You know how it is. If you listen and enjoy it, makes defense great again. So LSU misses the playoff next year. I would not, you should be in prove it mode with LSU. It's tough. I mean, they're as relevant to that fringe back four as pretty much anyone, but you need to be in prove it mode after last year, I would say. Love you so much, all of you. Thank you so much. And we'll be back tomorrow with a brand new episode of Snaps. Later, y'all.